Hey guys, your girl Ruth again. I want to finish up, well, read some more Boss Up if y'all want to hear it. Okay. And I stopped on chapter 3. So let's see. This is by Lindsay Teagle Marino. Okay. Okay, it says finding your thing. Do you even remember what your life was like before you had kids? Remember getting all stressed out about something you thought was really complicated. Before children came along, and compounded the complications factor of literally everything you do. Ever, ever find yourself trying to breathe more quietly while tiptoeing out of the room with a sleeping child? I rest my case. Maybe you were a total a whole about child raising, like I was before I became a mom. Yeah, I was the queen of the jerks. I was absolutely sure I would be the exception to the walking horror film that is motherhood for the average woman. I was going to nail mommy in a way no mom had mom before. Talking losing baby weight, keeping the monthly girls' nights, being but loving, strict but loving, avoiding the grocery store meltdowns, and making dinner every member of the family would eat without so much as a whimper. Fantasy. In fact, my kids would eat broccoli for dessert. Oh, ignorant bliss. When motherhood came upon me like a freight train, I failed at living for basically 3 entire years of my life. I didn't say failed at living in a way that snotty mom said it has. Snotty mom said it has. They serve you freshly baked cookies and pretend it's their bad day. I mean, I barely function enough to keep my kids alive. Plus, my boobs not point in wrong direction. Okay, and I wear spandex like a NASCAR driver wears a sponsor sticker. Is it hot in here? I don't even look the same after those first 3 years. Let anyone think the same. And yet, that person I used to be before I became a mom is still in there somewhere. That's true for you too, even though you may have forgotten. So, take a minute to think about what you are like before kids. What did you like to do? What were you good at? Did you have hobbies? What did you love to talk about? Got to keep that in mind. Can we just stop to notice that in approximately zero of the mental list of answers is above question? Did someone include taking actual notes about my kids' dumps? Oh, stop that. Our lives have changed since having kids, and our priorities have changed too. But does that mean we've completely different people who magically woke up and cared how many days had passed without our kids taking a successful nap? No, no, it does not. We care about our kids and we do the things moms need to do and a lot of the stuff we think moms are supposed to do. But be honest, wouldn't you rather binge an entire season of the latest adult series on Netflix than watch a single episode of uh, Caillou again? I don't like Caillou. Sometimes I wonder what I care about so much before kids. How did I feel of my days? What did I really have to juggle? What did I really love? I can't always remember, and I choose to believe that's kind of normal. After all, for most of us, our kids took away our ability to cough without peeing out in our pants. So why wouldn't they take our memory too? It just keeps getting more glamorous. Okay. It may be time to start walking through a few doors and trying on the possibilities of what we like again. Maybe we can sit aside some time to admit there may be life outside of our children, and maybe we should be a part of it. Let's finally let our brains process the fact that we don't have to be in love with every second of motherhood and find it the most exhausting experience of our lives. Feeling that way doesn't mean we don't love our kids or that we aren't good moms. It means we're getting real about what's calling us and doing our best to listen. Hello. Let me be quite honest with you. About 19 days into my rookie year of motherhood, when my second twin came home from the NICU, I realized mommy wasn't going to be the thing that fulfilled me. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I realized it at 2 in the morning as I tried to balance two babies on an impossibly small pillow to feed them, while at the same time having a massive fight with Michael over who was the most tired. It was in that moment that a horrible wave of shame came over me as I thought to myself, I actually hate this. And yes, things did get better as time went on. I didn't hate mommy and all the time. Sometimes I even loved it. But I wanted everything more too. I wanted something that was just mine. I struggled for years with my feelings though. Conflicted feelings though. I told approximately zero people about them. How could I admit these things to anyone? Time went on, but my desires to be labeled as more than just a mother didn't go away. I still wanted something that was my own, something that used the brain God had given only to me and the skills and talents I had developed over my years before kids. I worked hard on developing those skills and talents, and so did you, remember? No. Well, let me help you remember. In this chapter, we're going to explore a few options for finding your thing. That combination of non-parenting related interests, skills, and desires that could be transformed into your successful business. The you before diapers. Hello. I find that moms are almost afraid to dwell on their dreams and desires and non-kid related interests because they think they're not allowed to do that anymore. Certain culture does this, a couple of cultures. When after the kids are grown, it's like the mom still don't have no life. She's supposed to still help them in their marriage with their children. How unfair is that? I think the moms are almost afraid to dwell in their dreams and desires and non-kid related interests because they think they're not allowed to do that anymore. It's wrong. It will screw up the works. What would the husband say? What would the internet think? This is where I need you to remember that you aren't worried about what anyone else thinks. And after that, you need to jog your memory about what life was like for you before the kids arrived. Below are a few questions for you to answer about your past life. I highly suggest that you ask your spouse or your besties for help, and many of them because bad memory post motherhood is for real, y'all. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell y'all the question y'all can answer them yourself. What was your favorite way to spend an afternoon? What was your favorite job? What were some of your favorite hobbies or pastimes. What were what were you good at doing? Skills, talents, and so on. How did you feel your time once you went home from school or work? What could you not wait to do after school or work? What kinds of ideas would you fill notebooks, journals, or sketchbooks with? That's another important thing. Whatever you're going through, jot it down in a notebook. Whatever crazy idea with art, pictures, take pictures, whatever you want to do. I advise you just store it, store it, store it. You can always go back and look at that and retrieve your memory and where to get you on the path you want to go. What did you like to make? What kinds of activities were you excited to plan? What did you what did your daydream what did you daydream about? What did you assume you do in the future? What did you want to do or be? What did you teach other people? If you're married, what was it that you and your spouse first connected with over? What was the greatest compliment you ever gotten about something you made or did? Another thing I did too, I'll tell you, I was school. I didn't go to, I went to college, but not the big college, the 4 year accepted. I didn't want to do that. But I went to other little colleges and I took different things and, you know, that'll help me in the future. So that could be good too before you have kids. That'll help out, just staying busy like that. Is that picture of you before babies becoming a bit clearer? But don't stop there. It's important to recover the forgotten you, but you also want to think forward to what is calling you now. It might well be an old dream, but it might be a new one too. Something that has recently awakened in your heart and soul and mind. Maybe something you have discovered about yourself. What can you not stop thinking about? What do you find yourself doing when you're convers- procrastinating? What sneaks into your mind during your breaks from mothering? That is likely the thing you should be trying to create a business around. Interesting. I'm not talking about skills at this point. Skills you can learn with the search from the Google machine and maybe a little practice. Or skills you already have can be reposed to serve a new endeavor. Repropose. They're improvement. They're important, but they're also secondary. The question you really need to answer at this point is what do you love? What fills you up? What makes you feel like you? What sort of things get you excited and make you feel alive? I really want you to nail this down before you move on to identifying your gifts, talents, abilities, and skills. And you can do it. I promise, I promise. You cared deeply about something once, and it's time you found that girl again. It's time to reconnect with your passions. What's your passion? When it comes to starting a business, is it important to pinpoint what you're passionate about doing so you can incorporate your true passion into what you do? If you have no passion in your work, it will be the first thing you toss out the window when the going gets hard. And I promise you, it's going to get hard. You must love what you're doing and what you're working for. You must have your heart in the game. It's what will get you through a lot of tough days because you will always be able to find something that builds you up in the midst of everything that pulls you down. Hello. I would be re- I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the difference between a passion and a hobby. I would like to drop a couple of dictionary definitions on you so we can get the precise difference. I know, get excited. The definition of passion is a strong liking or desire for or devotion to something, to some activity, object, or concept. A hobby, however, is a pursuit outside one's regular occupation, engaged in especially for relaxation. Okay. The key difference with here is that one is an activity you do to relax. Excuse me. That's a hobby. But the other is something you do because you absolutely love it. Something that draws you strongly and inspires a strong devotion in you. That's a passion. Now, it's possible to turn your hobby into a business. It's also possible for a hobby to grow into a passion, but you're much more likely to flip your passion into a business because of the single word that differentiates these definitions: devotion. Something you've devoted to isn't something you can put aside for a time without really missing it. It's something that calls to you, that energizes you, that you can't ignore. That's what you should spend the hours of your life doing. Here are some questions that may help spark ideas about what you are passionate about. For these questions, I want you to try to find different answers for each one of them to give yourself some options. Many of these questions will make you think long and hard about yourself, which can be difficult. Introspection isn't always easy, but it is necessary. So take some time to fill out the answers and do it on the basis of you and you alone. A lot of us moms tend to answer questions like these with our kids in mind. We respond as caregivers rather than independent moms. So try to withhold judgment and not worry about what you think you should say or what your family will want you to say. Number one, if you had no choice but to enter the next TV talent show, what would you choose to do? Good question. Comedy. I like to do comedy. I always thought it was funny. What type of problem would your friends or family most likely call you to help them with? These days, my age, your age probably would be, I don't know, recipes, biggest thing. When you were little, what did you dream about? Traveling the world. What kind of how to segment could you teach on your local news channel? So I'm trying to do now. Different things to help people. Yeah, I want to travel the world and help people. That's what I want to do. What magazine articles or books do you find yourself reading? Magazine has changed. So I'm a magazine, so my stuff. If you were charged with making a do-it-yourself gift for a friend, what would you make? Something to help them with their skin like I'm doing now. I always help and trying to help people evolve. If you had 2 weeks of free time away from your daily grind, what would you spend the time doing? Planting. If I had land, I will find different plants, Mother Nature plants, blah, blah, blah. What is one thing you find yourself talking about over and over? These days, my kids' problems. Hmm. What do you enjoy that most people would be surprised to learn? Gambling and meeting different people while I'm gambling. People be lonely, Need somebody to talk to, even myself. Um, just a whole different world. It could be homeless there. It could be rich millionaires there. I don't know, stuff like that. What is one thing you do that produces the feeling of joy inside you? Often, one often called these butterflies. I guess knowing that people like what I'm doing for them. I guess. What's one thing you haven't done a lot, but you love when you tried it? Hmm. Going for long drives, I guess. If you were to write a book, what could you write about? Oh, I already wrote some. I mean, I already got some in the making. Probably my life story, my mom's. Once you answer the questions honestly, put a little mark next to each of the passion you like the most. If you get stuck, imagine that tomorrow is the last day of your life and you can do only one thing from your list. What would you choose? Question. Do that over and over again until you come up with your top five passions and list them below. Okay. Skills and talents and abilities. Do you have a better idea of how Uh, do you have a better idea by now about what you like and care about? When I answer these questions, I feel a little more connected to the chick I was before I had kids. That's the important first step in discovering what kind of business you should look into. The second step is identify the things you're naturally good at or the skills you develop in the course of your lifetime. Can you imagine a career where you can actually combine the things you're passionate about with the things you're really good at to make bucks of money? Is that not the dream? Imagine what it would feel like to be filled by what you get to do and then find someone has put money on your bank account for doing something you have likely done for free, correct? That's the beauty of combining your passion with your skills. So let's dig a little deeper to locate some of the places your abilities um, coincide with your passions. That intersection is where you'll find the right business for you. Yeah. Skills can be double-edged sword. I find there are quite a few things I'm skilled at that I have absolutely no desire to do. For example, I'm pretty good at hooking up electronics and figuring out which wires go where and turn on the components. It's something I really have a knack for. Doing that task, however, makes me want to scoop my eyeballs out with a spoon. I hate doing it. The fact that I can do it doesn't mean I like doing it or that I should do it. You're probably getting to discover something similar as you learn about your skills. There will likely be a few things you're good at but hate doing that you'd rather run a marathon barefooted on a path of Legos than do. There will probably be others that you can do well but simply don't care about. That's okay. I get you. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're going to make sure to separate the list of skills into yes and no and maybe pause. Number one, grab yourself a black pen and a red pen. Number two, come up with a list of three life wins and list them in the space below. A win is a situation where you feel you came out on top, where you achieved something. To help you get a wide range of answers, choose one win from your childhood. Under 18, one as a young adult, in your 20s and early 30s, and one that occupied in the last 5 years. Hmm. Okay, I got y'all. Notice that there are three columns of the same skill. This is so you can do this exercise for each of your wins. In this step, you go through the list of skills with a black pen and circle every skill you were required to use during your wins. For example, if my win was that I successfully meditated a disagreement between coworkers, I will circle all the skills it took for me to achieve what I did. I might circle bridge building, delegation, emotional intelligence, and elevation, among other skills. So win three skills. Okay. Adaptability, analyze. Skill two, adaptability, analyze. Yeah, I have to do that. I might as well. And skill three, two, and one. Win skills. Skill three, bridge building, connecting, budgeting, and learn that again. Classification, coaching, com- competitiveness, conceptualization, creativity, customer care, decision making, delegation, design, driver, editing or proofreading, emotional intelligence, diplomacy, estimating, ethics, evacuation, event planning, expediting, flexibility, forward looking orientation, sorry, idea generation, imagine creation, implement implementation. So that's for all three skills. Which one pick out that got you through the three at first, whatever. Oh Lord, she got a lot of them. Let's see how many. I know you are. Okay. She got improvisation. I am provisation. Initiate, initiative, innovation, intuition, leadership, listening, mechanics, meditation, monitoring, monitor, monitoring, motivation, multitasking, negotiation, observation, optimism, performance, persistence, planning and organization, problem solving, questioning, record keeping, research, reading, resilience, risk tolerance, and self reliance. Okay. Sales, speaking, strategic, strategy, supervision, synthesis, teaching and training, team building, mm, teamwork, technology, testing, time management, Vision, visualization, willingness to learn, willingness to take control, working with numbers, writing. Now go back through your answers, and for each skill you circled, ask yourself if this is something you enjoy doing. For each yes answer, circle it again, but this time with your red pen. Notice step 5. Notice the skills you circled more than one time. If any of these are circled with a red pen, they're skills that you not only possess right now, but also like using. Step number 6. Write down 10 skills you both have and give it and like in the blanks below. I'm not going to do that. I'm just telling you. Put a star with your red pen next to the 5 skills that you think would be most satisfying for you to do on a regular basis. These 5 skills are going to help you build your dream. Oh, let me show you how she got it. Okay, let me show you outside like that. That's how she got it. Okay, that's the first page. And she got it like this. Okay, now we go to this one. Um, putting it all together. You've done good work. You remembered a lot about yourself and are starting to piece together how you can use what you have to advance your business in the real world. Now take the time to fill out the following at a glance worksheet with the answer you came up with in previous sections so you have it all in one place to refer to when you start to wonder if you're on the right path. It is my hope that these exercises will make you sure than ever that being an entrepreneur is what you're meant to be. Putting it all together, passions. List your top 5 passions, starting with the most satisfying. Okay, y'all see that point? Then she have skills. List your top 10 skills, starting with the most satisfying. For me, when I see my passion and skills and what makes me uniquely qualified all laid out, I can't walk away from it. There has to be a reason why all these things are coming together right now. There has to be a purpose for me. All I have to do is take the leap. I believe that for you too. It's all here. You're gifted with skills and talents and thoughts and abilities that only you have. It's time you use them. That little idea that lives in you is trying to break out. Take some time to figure out how your passions and skills might work into your business idea. I never thought my photograph and writing skills would have much to do with my sales business, but they turned out to be huge assets. I created marketing strategies and connected with my audience online. How might the same be sure for your individual passions and skills? The next chapters will explore the 10 success philosophies that will get you started down the path to entrepreneurship. The principles that will help you boss up in the way that's right for you and your unique situation. You ready? Let's go. So we're gonna stop. Let me see. Yeah, check kind of late. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there, y'all. I learned to go slow. You know what I'm saying? Not to rush anything, because what's gonna happen and what's gonna be will be. Okay. If it's not, it's not. Okay. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Okay. Um, we'll continue and have some things to work on. Okay. All right, y'all. It's your girl Ruth signing off. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. All right. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.